Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to yet another game of Skytear. I am the commander reporting again for duty this day. Joining me, my eternal nemesis and fellow Outsiders Only podcast member, Ryan.
Hello, we are here for the finals, and it should be a lot of fun and lots and lots of blood with these players and victory conditions.
It is, as the kids these days would call it, a banger. Kirito versus Gameslayer, two of the highest skilled players in the game, going head to head on the Ashen Pass with the Tamer, Hunting for Power, and Skytear Master. Before the game, we did see that Gameslayer, as the higher seed in this tournament, the number 2 seed, did elect to go second. Smeoz then responded by bringing the Silent Ambassador as the outsider of choice.
Yep, and just quickly go over Skytear Master. Win the lead of a control token inside a dome 3 times. As we know, both sides of the map are each considered one dome right now.
Correct.
The Tamer, defeat 2 enemy heroes using an outsider. And then we have Hunting for Power, defeat the outsider. So lots and lots of dome and outsider stuff.
Yep. And we've completed the draft actually very, very quickly here. We do see that Gameslayer ran the exact same composition that we saw during the semifinals. Yami, Ishitosk, Sakoshi with Akimo in the reserve units. And we see that Smeoz is going with a mono blue strategy here. Astrida, Freyhill, Shilavi with Gobjorn in the wings waiting.
And I believe this is the exact same composition he brought for his semifinal match.
Yes, indeed. And so this is going to be a semifinal run back, and now we're going to see which of the semifinal decks play out better. We are going to go ahead through the mulligans. I think that in this case, since it's the finals, it would be okay if we mentioned the cards that are being discarded. I know we did have closed deck lists for this tournament, but given that this is the final match, after this, the decks will be unlocked, so there's not really any strategic information left to be gained. So we do see that Smeoz has opted to discard the Psychic Shield and the Shove, whereas Gameslayer did discard a Combustion as well in the opening mulligans.
All right. So we have 3 victory conditions that lean towards dome play, and we also have Nexus. So who do you think is going to win, and with what victory condition?
Oh boy. Well, so Gameslayer won turn 4 with Nexus Destruction in his semifinal. Smeoz won turn 2 with Hunting for Power in his semifinal. With the Silent Ambassador, blowing up the outsider is a little bit easier for Gameslayer. So I think that it's going to come down to... I'm going to say actually Gameslayer with the Tamer. Oh, and we're going right off the bat here. Shilavi did activate with Worship on to Astrida. Then is going to move. Gameslayer going to try and inflict a little bit of pain with the Skytear discharge immediately coming out there from Yami, from Sakoshi. Shilavi has no armor, so does not need to be piercing here. But a Skytear discharge doesn't matter if you plan to just stay in the lane.
Yeah, but I would have thought that he would have been wanting to go for the dome like we saw him do in his semifinal match. Just, low pile up in the dome and then kill the outsider.
Sure. Absolutely. Indeed. And we do see that Shilavi does finish with a lead from the hand. So interestingly enough here in this situation, Gameslayer could opt to dome stuff and then get control of the Silent Ambassador. Silent Ambassador, very powerful on the Ashen Pass with her ability to warp units that are 4 units away and do some shenanigans with exchanges. So with that on the table, Gameslayer could potentially look to lock down the dome, use those abilities, start racking up those Tamer points, but also manipulate the board such that Smeoz is not in an easy place to start chasing down the Silent Ambassador. Unlike before, with Gameslayer unleashing the Silent Ambassador, it would be far less likely for Smeoz to be able to lock it in place and prevent it from running away so that Smeoz can just dogpile on it with a Freyhill in turn 2.
Yeah, the other thing that Gameslayer has to watch out for is presence from Smeoz. So even though he didn't go into the dome with Shilavi, he could essentially have the equivalent of 3 heroes in the dome.
This is true. That is correct. And we see Ishitosk playing the Dreams of Talit. So we are going to see the Ixitaxi going off. For Yami, we do see the pillar coming down now. There's the worship action. We see that Gameslayer is moving Yami around the board, going to flip against one of the minions, and then Ishitosk will end next to the pillar as well, since that's how that works. Of course, we don't want to remove your minion just yet. We have to flip for it first. But Gameslayer does not run -1s, so the minion will die. It is simply just a formality playing the order. There we go, +2 on the flip. Very dead minion. Gameslayer now also going for the skirmish action here. Potentially, no, never mind. Ishitosk played that Dreams of Talat there, so she can't go ahead and plop down a stone barricade to prevent additional dome piling. But maneuvering there, and then perhaps I assume a lead for the final action?
Possibly. If Sakoshi could, if he had the stun barricade, Sakoshi could have used the dreams. It would have been, the pillar would have been 1 hex further away, but Ishita still could have gotten to the same spot with a move, and Yami still could have killed a minion, but not necessarily ended up in the exact same spot. Actually, wait. He would have had to kill the other minion.
Right, exactly. All right, and Ishitosk, leading from the deck, very interesting, since Gameslayer is known for high modifier, low mana cards in his deck. A bit of a risk coming from there, but we do see Astrida going for the move action. I assume she will attack the minion, delete the minion, spawn the minion, since she is shapeshifted. That looks to be the plan there. So, we're flipping in the +3. Yikes, you hate to see it.
And this is the final, so we can talk about what the cards are, right?
That is true. I'm going to make that executive decision, and since I don't have the chat window open or my Discord private messages available, I can't be yelled at for that until later. So, we did see the Glacial Rebirth, which is Freyhill's ultimate flipped.
Yes, Eric, after the semifinals, Gameslayer has to be hyper-aware of hunting for power. Before we flipped the victory conditions, he was saying he was praying that we did not flip hunting for power, and when he flipped over, he was pretty upset.
He was. But there comes Through the Eyes. So Through the Eyes is actually going to get Yami. And so now Yami is disarmed, which is going to make Yami's assassination potential significantly less. At this case, then, Gameslayer may... and we flip a +3 against the Yami for the skirmish from Astrida. Nice flip there. Psychic Shield probably not going to be super useful as a card in hand against Gameslayer's deck, but definitely still for the modifier value. And so Astrida will move herself into the dome.
Yeah, I think he's trying to kind of set up a way for him to potentially presence and get the Silent Ambassador, and then swap with Ishitosk, so that way to get Silent Ambassador in the dome without Ishitosk there, and then kind of surround it like we saw in the semifinals.
Indeed. All right, there we go. We do have a skirmish action now from Yami coming down. Again, this is a -2, but the flip is not affected by that. +3 on the flip there, though, so hate to see that wasted on the minion. Going to attack the minion, does need a +1 on this now.
What was the flip, out of curiosity?
I was a Psychic Shield.
Okay, so nothing exciting.
Flip the +1 there. Okay, so that does deal 1 damage to the minion, even through the disarm effect. And Yami's going with a Doom action, going to prevent Freyhill from doing a Flex Presence play, it looks like. And, okay, there goes a Snowblind, so that'll be enough to consume all of Freyhill's mana. Even with the Flex, she will not be able to do anything this round, so... no, I guess that's right, because of how the Flex works. So yeah, she could do a 1 mana play there, but will not be able to play Presence.
Yeah. Interestingly, he chose to do that there. I guess if he's going to worship into the dome, I guess. I was going to say he could have waited to do that until activation, but if Yami's not going to be there, then there's no reason to do that.
Exactly. Yep. So now we declare the worship action. Of course, Smeoz will have a chance to respond with Shillavi. Doesn't look like any response from Shillavi's coming out at the moment. Freyhill, obviously being doomed, has no mana left. Astrida also used her mana, so unless Smeoz wants to pop the Flux for something, I can't imagine what you would want to burn the Flux for at this point. Although Smeoz is thinking, so apparently there is some sort of a potential play here. Smeoz does have 4 cards in hand. Still not sure that I would burn the Flux at this point, since you can't presence. And if Gameslayer wants the dome, he does get to just dome pile and win. Oh no, that's right. Ishitusk did lead from the hand actually, so it is actually not a guaranteed dome pile and win situation.
From the deck.
From the deck, yeah. Sorry. Oh,
Oh,
so
we
we
are
are
seeing
going to
the
pop the
flux.
flux. Okay, so what is coming out? This has to be a 1-mana card, unless it's from Shillavi. It's a time warp. So Shillavi will use the time warp to get herself into the dome. Very nice. Doesn't prevent the worship play from going off on her, of course, as worship is within 3, but it does now add presence into the dome for Smeoz and increases the necessity. Oh, the +3 on the flip there does deal 4 damage to Shillavi, brings her down to 14. But every time we see a 3 mana on a flip, that is less likely that that was a 3 mana on the lead from the deck for Gameslayer. And so therefore, Smeoz's lead from hand looking stronger as the turn goes on.
Yeah, and I think Frail's going to probably go into that dome and just continue to challenge that lead from deck.
Absolutely. I can see very
worst,
much
he
a
ties
move.
it.
Yes, I say if I was Smeoz, it seems very likely go for a move or a skirmish, attack the minion, and then the other move or skirmish into the dome.
Yeah,
There's the move action. We see that.
The fact that Gameslayer has 2 heroes over in that corner, though, means that Smeoz won't be able to completely surround it without Gameslayer having any heroes in the area. So Gameslayer is definitely making it difficult for Smeoz to do what we saw in the semifinals.
Indeed, and there goes another +3 on a minion flip there. So both players burning a lot of their +3 cards on minion kills. But as you mentioned, the dome piling here, and again, the other thing too that's important, Silent Ambassador can actually run away as well. So we just okay.
Interesting. I thought he was going to move a little bit closer, attack a minion, and skirmish in, so he at least wins the lane.
Indeed, but Sakoshi is able to get line of. I guess it doesn't matter. He's inside the dome there. So we are going to attack
Shillavi.
Shillavi, thank you. Oh no. Okay. So Gameslayer is going to lead from the hand here in response. Then I guess he was trying to go for the lead from the deck to bluff. Realized it's probably not going to work out, and is then going to burn the card from his hand. Assuming again we see a 3, that will result in a tie lane 1-1. So we're just going to respawn some minions there for the players in the lane, and then we do see the 3. Yep, 3/3. So that does mean no outsider, which means all victory conditions not fulfilled.
Yep, and that also kind of that explains why he didn't do the attack on the minion, because then he wouldn't have been able to get that lead there.
Indeed. And so now in this situation here, I kind of want to favor Gameslayer, just because Gameslayer loves to fight, and all the heroes are in what we like to call the COVID-19 not safe collection environment here. We've got 6 heroes all adjacent to each other. Actually, interestingly enough, as long as Ishitusk doesn't move, every single one of Smeoz's heroes gets slowed on their activation.
That is also assuming that that Smeoz doesn't kill the pillar.
That is fair. That is a fair point. You do need to obviously have line of sight to the pillar. Or excuse me, you need to be within 3 of the pillar in order for the slow to actually go off.
Yes. So I, generally speaking, Gameslayer running this high modifier flip deck, I would generally assume with the flip decks that as the game goes on, they tend to be at a little bit more of a disadvantage because they don't run as many 3-mana cards. But I believe, we don't have the actual deck list, but I believe Gameslayer tends to run a little bit more 3s than other flip decks. So he won't be put in as much of a disadvantage as other flip decks would be as the game goes on.
Yeah, with the changes that we had to the Season 2 rules, pure +2 flip decks definitely did take a hit. You do need to fill your decks out a little bit more with the 3 mana cards. And I think Gameslayer has adapted to that playstyle. So,
yeah, even before the changes, I think he was running some more 3s than some of the other flip decks. Like we saw earlier in the King of the Dome game that how Tim did not have many 3s, and that came back. That ended up hurting him in the end.
It very much did. I went to take I took a short break afterwards to go get some food and whatnot. I come back in and Giacomo's already smashing down the tower, and I'm like, oh well, once again, the game's already over. So meanwhile, we do see Astrida activating here. Going to heal up +1 from the Freyheal passive there, as he did flip a +0 on the effect, but Freyheal is now shapeshifted. So going to disarm the Sakoshi. Good play there. Going to do 2 damage only, but the real benefit here is that Sakoshi now gets the -2, the -2 to both the skirmish and his attack actions.
Yep, and all that work for ties everywhere. Well said, Eric. Reminds me of my my semifinal against Pythoner a while back. We went through 2 full rounds on 2 lane with ties literally everywhere.
Is that the game where you guys led from deck 6 times and it had a bunch of 1 manas and 0 manas?
Yes.
Okay, that game was awful. I mean, it was funny, but it was awful. And meanwhile, we do see the -1 skirmish flip for Astrida just getting into that cover hex. Not that it really matters. Sakoshi is adjacent to her, so she is going to still be seen.
Yeah, and as Ricardo said, kitchen party everywhere.
That is correct.
Or kitchen party time. Kitchen party time, not everywhere. Everywhere would not be the kitchen.
No. I mean, it depends. Some people do have those houses that primarily everything is their kitchen with those weird open concept things, but nevertheless. Let's go ahead and see what happens now here. As we do see Yami very much in position here. Ishitas could potentially do another taxi to swing her through a minion, get a little bit of a slow lane push, and then rejoin the Dome Brawl. See what else. Though then again, that would of course remove the instant slows. If Gameslayer has a clear mind, Sakoshi could potentially be activated here, clear off the disarm, and then proceed to lay the smackdown against Shillavi here at this point. Soften her up in preparation potentially to win the dome.
Yeah, not really sure what's gonna happen here. It's a very interesting board state where everyone's piling up in the dome here, but they don't want to forget about the lane either. So there'll probably be a lot of jumping back and forth, and also probably, I would imagine, some damage being done to the heroes.
Yes.
Especially considering with Skytear Master and Honey of Power 2 kind of win the dome, one of the 2 real ways to kind of get an advantage in the dome are presence and having more heroes.
Yes, as dead heroes cannot lead.
They also can't provide control at all. Whether or not they lead, they would still provide the 1 control, and they can't even do that if they're dead.
That's right. They get to sit on the sidelines as a spectator, as a shameful reminder of the failure that they were.
Yep. Maybe that'll happen to Yami.
I mean, Gameslayer let Yami die last game, but it didn't matter because she came back in time and then proceeded to continue to lay the beat down.
Yeah, she can do that sometimes, as long as enough heroes die and the game goes long enough.
Well, we did get to turn 4 on the other semifinal game, and it was a pretty good back and forth game. Zambo did take the early advantage with the first hero kill. Gameslayer kind of countered, took out 2 heroes there, swung the advantage back. But at that point, though, Gameslayer's minion pileup had just begun. There were too many minions, and so he just said, all right, all my heroes are here. I lead with a 3. I've got tons of minions. Kaboom, kaboom, your tower explodes.
Yep, and that's a very good point, Eric. Smeoz starting this round with no shape-shifted heroes. It's not an ideal position for him at all. That could really end up hurting him.
Yep, he did have to use one of Astrida's actions to get that shape-shifted effect onto her, and then because he needed it in order to disarm Sakoshi, means that Astrida does lose it at the end of her activation.
Yeah, but
I'm curious.
Sakoshi being disarmed is definitely going to be could definitely be a problem for Gameslayer unless he has like a clear mind or something, in which case he doesn't care.
Clear mind, exhaustion, release the spirits. Although I guess he can't hit Sakoshi with release the spirits from where Yami is, so Yami would need to activate first in that case, and Yami is going to activate. All right, let's see what Yami does. Yami is the queen of the Ashen Pass, and that's not my personal bias. Most players will agree she is one of the strongest heroes on the Ashen Pass due to her insane mobility. And so she is going to go for the attack. Oh, +3 on the flip. That's where you want to see those +3s. Shillavy down to 9.
Yeah,
Do we see the worship action?
I would actually say that Yami is definitely, I think, stronger on Action Pass, but I think Yami is just generally one of the stronger heroes in the game, not just on Action Pass.
That is true. I would agree with that sentiment. All
Up,
praise Yami.
up there with Frail.
Oh yeah, I still think Freyhill probably is overall the strongest hero, but Yami is definitely in contention for among like second to fourth. So we do see Gameslayer declaring the worship action, not resolving yet. Smeoz may have a response to this. He has popped the Flux though, so it can't be a 3-mana card of any sorts. It could be potentially a.
I think in comparing Frail and Yami, I think Frail overall I think is better, but there is a little more counterplay for Frail, and also she's a little more synergy based, while Yami can kind of do whatever she wants as the only red hero.
Fair. Okay, all right. Well, we do see the +2 on the flip there from the worship action. Freyhill does have 1 armor, no Brilvar to help solidify her, so she is going to take 2 damage there. We do see the Yami move then as the final action. Positioning himself there means that Gameslayer probably does not have a quick shot in order to end the round and blow up another minion there with Yami. So
hold on a sec. Yami should have been slowed.
On the basis of...
Didn't she start next to Ishatosk?
Ishatosk is Gameslayer's.
Oh, yes, you are correct.
Now who's not paying attention to the game here, sir? Usually I'm the one that makes these kinds of flubs.
I've been spending too much time around you.
That's fair, and that can only hurt you. All right, so Freyhill is going to activate now in response. Freyhill is slowed. See, now Freyhill gets the slow because this is how this works, Ryan. Freyhill and Ishatosk are on opposite sides of the team, so Freyhill gets the slow action. We do see Sakoshi is going to eat the attack there. No armor from Sakoshi brings him down to 10 HP.
I like how saying I've been spending too much time around you is something that we can both agree on.
It's true. Outsiders only, the team chat, now this. Things can only get worse from you from here. For you from here.
For you too.
That's also accurate. All right, so we do see... okay, so Freyhill is going for the skirmish action, so likely going to challenge Yami in the lane here at this point, I think. Does deal 1 damage to Sakoshi there, so Sakoshi will go to 9 HP. And, not actually going to move. Okay, just piling on the damage. So, will worship herself, I think? Yep, worship herself. Does heal her up full HP there. +2 on the flip. Does mean that she'll max out at 16.
That's actually... I kind of thought maybe she would choose to heal... to shapeshift Shillavy to heal her.
Yes. Shapeshift Shillavy, and then also... potentially getting Shillavy's ability to 2-for-1 the minions. Although, actually, with Gameslayer's spawning pattern there, actually, I don't think you could... I mean, you could move Skirmish Attack with Shillavy and get the 2 minions that way, but that seems a little bit inefficient.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
All right, well, with Freyhill sitting in the dome, and Yami staying on the outside there, it does seem like Gameslayer is willing to concede the dome in order to get the Silent Ambassador on the field. That will give Smeoz 1 point on Skytear Master here, unless there is a huge play here with a clear mind that we can just 9-0 Shillavy.
Yep. And I guess we'll have to see. I guess the logic for not shapeshifting Shillavy and healing Shillavy there was if Sakoshi has a clear mind, then it's probably it might kill her either way.
So with a clear mind, that would give us 4 + 2 flips.
No.
So we'll assume 6 damage.
I think that like healing like 2 HP would actually make a difference.
Yeah, the healing actually would make it so that you would need both Sakoshi and Ishatosk to reliably kill Shillavy. I mean, as it stands, you would need a +2 and a +3 on your flips with Sakoshi. Although, does Gameslayer do guerrilla tactics? I wonder. That could be a possibility to get the +2 skirmish if you had the clear mind. Since this is round 2, you could clear mind and then guerrilla tactics, and that would pretty reliably kill Shillavy.
Or even clear mind plus burning rage.
Yes. Isn't Burning Rage 2?
Yeah. Clear Mind plus Strength
Yes.
Over Pain, although we know he doesn't run minus
GameSlayer,
ones.
yeah, GameSlayer wouldn't run a -1.
Could
-1 is not
go.
going to show up.
What about like a Crippling Precision or Brutal Precision?
Ooh. Brutal. Oh yeah, that's true. Brutal Precision. That could be the case. Both of those are possibilities here. So let's see here.
I'm wondering if. So I think probably the reason for Shapeshifting Frail might be like a sacrifice or something, especially with the revenge triggers. But Release the Spirits exists.
Release the Spirits does exist, but with Yami's repositioning, she can actually hit Sakoshi now. And interestingly enough, she would also catch Freyhill in the AoE. So very much possibility. Okay, we do see the attack action there, bringing Shilovy down to 6. Not going to do the Release the Spirits combo though, as we mentioned. So Sakoshi just goes for the attack. Is he going to go and skirmish? You do -2 on this skirmish. I'm not sure there's...
I think he was skirmishing without a target. Or I think it was a side. Yeah,
okay.
I think he was skirmishing without a target. I didn't see a ping.
Okay. Freyhill is going to play the sacrifice, though, and as she is shapeshifted, but she is going to use this defensively, brings Shilovy back up to 10.
And getting the revenge off. So that's why he went with shapeshifting Frail, because he was planning to use the sacrifice to heal Shilovy, but want to get the revenge off.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense. And we do see the bonus damage there. Gameslayer staying in the dome, interestingly enough, though, with the skirmish. I assume that what he's doing here is set to prevent Smeoz from stun locking the Silent Ambassador.
Right.
With that positioning, because he knows that he's going to lose the dome at this point, so he's just going to make it such that the Silent Ambassador can't be trapped into a corner and then blown up.
Also, if he sends another hero out of the dome, that gives Smeoz the luxury to also leave the dome and can then leave with a lead. So he probably think it's better to stay in the dome, leading from deck, so Smeoz has respect. It's a 3, so kind of forcing Smeoz to stay in the dome.
Yes. All right. Well, very nice so far.
Yeah, I think that was great play by both players. The shape-shifting Frail makes perfect sense. We never questioned that it was the wrong decision. We were just questioning why he made the decision. Because we trust Smeoz to make the good plays.
Nice save, Ryan.
Thank you.
That's why we have you here for damage control.
That's what I'm here to do. I have to cause damage and then control it.
I'm not sure that's how that works, but okay. Anyways, so in this case now, we do still have a single activation from each player. Shilovy needs to activate for Smeoz, who is marked, although I guess that doesn't really matter since the red heroes have already gone. And Ishitosk for Gameslayer. There is... Yeah, I guess you could skirmish outside the dome with Ishitosk, then proceed to worship the Yami Taxi action there again, and lead as your final with Ishitosk, and then get potentially a good control push in the center dome. Since as we mentioned, Gameslayer has conceded the dome for this round at least.
Yeah, he's conceded the dome, but he's still forcing Smeoz to fight for it.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm not sure what Shilovy does here. Especially being slow, there's no way for her to get over to Sakoshi.
Right. Yeah, with her being slowed. This is the answer. She charms it off.
Yeah, that would do that. So I guess now gonna run around and come after Sakoshi.
Yep, 1, 2, 3 on the move. Skirmish in. Now, of course, this skirmish can't damage Sakoshi, which means that Smeoz does need a +3 to kill.
Yeah, I thought there was a chance he might target Yami with it, but probably figured it wasn't worth it.
So here's the thing. Smeoz actually doesn't need to kill Sakoshi here because of Tamer, because now Silent Ambassador comes on the field, and so you do 3 plus the flip, Stone Storm 1 plus a flip, and then skirmish. So you're basically doing 4 plus 3 flips to Sakoshi. So Sakoshi is likely to die to the Tamer, which will give Smeoz the point on the Tamer, but also force a chemo to spawn in round number 4.
Interesting also on that So Shilvi, moves skirmish over and then doesn't do anything attack because he needs the lead. So use a charm and 2 actions just to get to a different spot.
Indeed. So now Ishitosk does get to activate here.
Ishitosk
does have presence, though.
I see why he did that. So Gameslayer did not give up the dome. He could have used Ishitosk to tax the Yami back in. But Shilvi just blocked that play.
That's true. That is actually very true. Now, Ishitosk does...
He could skirmish next to Yami, worship to move Yami in, and then move back over to the other where he is now.
Yes, that could be a play.
But then he's forced to rely on the lead from deck from Sakoshi.
Correct. Well, Gameslayer does have presences, I believe, with Ishitosk, so that is a possibility as well. But we will see what happens here. Ooh, +2 on the skirmish, so Freyhill does take 1 chip damage there, not too bad. But it looks like we are going to go into the dome here. Unless there is perhaps a Dreams of Talent. There it is! Sakoshi's going to pop out Dreams of Talent! Knew that one was coming, so the play is not ruined. Sakoshi will pop down.
You have to target.
Sakoshi can target inside the dome.
Oh, Sakoshi played it. I thought Ishitosk played it.
Yes.
Never mind.
Nope, Sakoshi played it. Yep. Man, I got to keep you on the straight and narrow the whole game here. Yikes. This is a reversal of fortune. All right, so we do see the removed pillar there. Putting it back. Does Smeoz have a response? Nope. Okay, what? Okay.
I think it's the curse of the streamer. Whoever is the one who's actually streaming is the one who gets everything wrong.
That seems to be accurate. All right, so Ishitosk is going to worship now. We are going to see Yami go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, plop herself into the dome, flip against the minion, and Ishitosk swing over there as well. +2 on the flip there. That is a very dead minion. So now, interestingly enough...
And there's the presence.
Oh, there's the presence! Yes! You'll love to see it. So presence will give Ishitosk that bonus 1 control. Does allow Gameslayer to peek at the deck here, which greatly increases the ability for him to lead, except both of those cards apparently sucked, so he's going to lead from the hand. Or they could be very good flips, and he wants to use them for the offensive with the Silent Ambassador.
Or now, he wants to draw them. He could choose to spawn the outsider all the way on the other side.
Also an option. That is true.
He's going to win both the lane and the dome here, can start pressuring the Nexus. So if he throws the outsider all over there, it makes it very difficult for Smeoz to kill it, and then he can just start piling on Nexus.
This is very true. So that minion does die for Gameslayer. It is a 3-1 advantage in the... End of turn shenanigans. Yep, end of turn shenanigans. Shilvi is going to play the Nourish, does prevent Gameslayer from being able to kill even with 3/3s on the flip. But
yep, and also Smeoz is down to 1 card in hand now. Gameslayer is also at 1, but is going to draw 2 for winning both the lane and the dome.
Indeed, and then he'll get 2 more at the end of turn. So Gameslayer, I think, is doing all right at this point.
Yeah, that was a great turn by Ishitosk with both the Dreams, the Worship, and the Presence.
Yes, and there's the +3 on the lead, which means that Gameslayer wins automatically. And so now it is time for the Silent Ambassador. My personal favorite outsider, the Silent Ambassador, does need to be spawned on the dome perimeter, which, as you mentioned, because the domes are linked, Gameslayer could opt to spawn it in dome area number 3. Of course, we both know that that's not going to happen because Gameslayer, like myself, loves violence. And so spawn it down there. Now, interestingly enough, as you notice, Shilvi, Estrida, Freyhill, all within the 2x2 grid, which means that they are in prime condition to get a triple Stone Storm and lock down right there inside the dome. Silent Ambassador also can do some prediction and then wormhole shenanigans potentially to teleport people around. So you could possibly warp Sakoshi into a cover hex, make it a little bit more difficult for Smeoz to get them, combining a slow with having to lead the dome. So let's see how Gameslayer chooses to use the Silent Ambassador here.
Yeah, I actually kind of just like throwing Silent Ambassador over in the other, kill a minion and then have her all the way in the other dome. Just make it so Smeoz can't kill it. You're in good position here. Don't want to do anything that will let Smeoz capitalized. That being said, with Smeoz only having 3 cards in hand at the beginning of next round, there's only so much that Smeoz can do to the Sound Ambassador.
That is correct. All right, so we are going to start her down there inside the dome. And interestingly enough, at this point, she will only be vulnerable to Astrida and to Freyhill, since Shillavi will not be able to get access to the Silent Ambassador, who's your main damage. And, oh, never mind. Now we're just going to swap them over there. So this is a huge dome pile up there. Very nice use of the wormhole to further protect the Silent Ambassador. Of course, Astrida can still target. Oh, there's the from below flip on the attack. So Shillavi is going to take 6 damage down to 7. Very nice. You would have liked to probably have seen that as Gameslayer on the Stone Storm, but nevertheless, still good to see it on the attack. And a, what is that? Is that combustion? So that's a +1 there. Yep, +1. So that's going to be 2 damage to everyone. Freyhill and Astrida take 1 damage. Shillavi will take the full 2. All 3 of them are slowed. Excellent use of the Silent Ambassador. This is one of the reasons that I love Silent Ambassador on Ashen Pass. It's tightly packed. Her abilities are just so good for manipulating the board state, and she does damage. Like, what's not to love?
You know, he actually had an interesting potential play there. Rather than attacking, if he had done the Stone Storm first and then had skirmish into the corner, he could have, Gameslayer then could have then used Sakoshi to block Sound Ambassador in the corner the same way Smeoz did in the semifinals.
Indeed. But
I don't think that leans towards his strategy at all, but it definitely a play he could have done, and he could have done it just because he was against Smeoz. Just be like, I can do this too.
It's true.
Yeah. Well, that is correct, Giacomo. This is some very high-level stuff from both players. Both of these players are doing very, very high-level stuff.
Yes. Which we should expect, as this is the World Qualifier Championship match, so...
Yes, and considering these players both finished in the top 4 at Worlds last year.
Yes, that is also accurate as well. Gameslayer was our runner-up, our second-place silver medalist, and Smeoz was number 4.
Correct. And I believe Gameslayer was the one who knocked Smeoz out of that event on Ashen Pass.
Yeah, Gameslayer was immediately kicked down into the underworld in round 1 and then fought his way through the Ashen Pass all the way to the Grand Championship before falling to Tim, but it was still an excellent run to watch from him. Meanwhile, we do see some attack action here. Shillavi going for the attack, realizing that the Tamer is probably not in his best interest right now, so we need to start getting these heroes off the board. We have a Doom reaction on Astrida. Very nice. So obviously now with it being turn 3, Gameslayer is wary of the Astrida instant exhaust play. With the ultimate, we're just going to say, nope, we're going to go ahead and Doom that, prevent any of that shenanigans from happening. We have seen Smeoz flip his Psychic Shields, and there is the Snowblind as the result of the Doom. As a play, that was played. So we are going to see that played, disarming both Yami and Ishitosk and Sakoshi. So all of them have been disarmed. Very good play there. Unfortunately, no release the spirits.
So all of Smeoz's team is slowed, and all of Gameslayer's team is disarmed.
Yes.
What a game.
What a game indeed. All right, so we did see the attack action did go off. Sakoshi down to 2 hit points there. Looking very low. However, the skirmish is 0 on Shillavi, so no damage there. Not going to die just yet.
And one more thing about Gameslayer's run at Worlds, he did have a perfect record on both Tulane and Ashen Pass. Went undefeated on Ashen Pass and winless on Tulane.
That's not how a perfect record works, Ryan.
Perfectly bad, right?
I don't think that phrase thinks what you think it means. So this is the problem with millennial kids these days, or these Gen Zers.
I'm a millennial. I'm a millennial.
Do you qualify as a millennial? Okay.
I made the cutoff barely.
Did you? Okay. My girlfriend is about your age, and she makes fun of me all the time for being old. So it's just like, all right, whatever. Anyways,
I'm 96, not like the 1996. Not 96
I know. I don't know what the actual cutoff is. Like, I don't pay attention to that. There's like so many different definitions. Anyways, all right. So Shillavi is going to go for the lead from the deck there to finish this round off. It is a blind lead there. Obviously, the presence that you did see flash up briefly on the screen was not actually played. That was a result of the Doom effect. So that is not a predicted lead from the deck for Smeoz.
And just to clarify, Giacomo, when you say high-level stuff here, you were talking about the players, not the commentary, right?
I assume so, yes. This is definitely... Anyone that accuses us of high-level commentary needs to be evaluated. That, or they just have incredibly low standards. That could also be, a thing.
Well, Giacomo, as one of the developers of Skytear, clearly does not have low standards.
I should hope not. All right, so we are going to see Sakoshi move. So Gameslayer is going to attempt to save Sakoshi here, it looks like. With Freyhill and Astrida both being slowed, it is possible to run Sakoshi. Here comes the Clear Mind from Sakoshi. Very nice. So now we're going to remove that disarm. So this is going to and add +1 to the attack. So this is actually going to end up dealing 4 + 2 flips. Obviously, we take the higher of the 2 there. So Shillavy very likely to die here. There's a +1 and a +0. There it is. That's all you needed was +1. Dead Shillavy. So that lead is now completely useless. Gameslayer, of course, does not get a target point towards any of the victory conditions this time around, but Dead Heroes Can't Lead does get him a card draw and does make it so that Smeoz's replacement comes in round number 4 as Shillavy has already activated.
I was actually just going to ask if we have seen Dance of the Predator yet, because that would have been a pretty nice response there. But unfortunately, it looks like he did not have that in hand.
Indeed.
Unfortunately for Smeoz, fortunately for Gameslayer.
Indeed, yeah, because Dance of the Predator would have killed Sakoshi. Speaking of which, we should probably put the Silent Ambassador's hit points on the board, just because...
Silent Ambassador starts at 18.
Oh, is it 18? Oh, yeah, it is 18. Whoops, my bad.
I thought you used that Outsider all the time. Shouldn't you know that?
I should, but if we compiled a dictionary or an encyclopedia, if you even know what an encyclopedia is, we used these back in my childhood, 20,000 years ago.
There's one of those on. They have those on the internet, right? Like Encyclopedia Britannica, things like that.
Yes, they're now what we kind of call collector's items, antiques, if you will.
Yeah.
All right, so we do see the move action coming down here now. Is there a response? Or did he back something up? What's going on here?
I'm not sure what they're talking about.
Smeoz is pinging perhaps movement? Did
Gameslayer
move? I don't think... Yeah,
Gameslayer was disarmed and then attacked. He moved and then attacked.
Gameslayer was not was disarmed, not slowed.
And did I move or did I skirmish round 1? Because we've accidentally lost the log. Did I move or skirmish as action 1?
It's showing move for me. I'm saying move,
yeah,
but you never click the attack.
No, I just press move now. Just now I press move.
Okay, yeah, you did the move action, I think.
So I did move attack, even though I only moved 2 tiles, which is weird. Okay.
Yes, I actually remember thinking that. That was interesting.
Okay.
And Giacomo accommodates us with a both kind of. So clearly not actually high-level commentary, but just doesn't want to hurt our feelings. We appreciate you, Giacomo. You don't have to lie to us. We're big kids, I think.
Yeah. If you scroll back in the chat, you see move, attack, clear mind. Yep.
Yes. Clear mind and clear the action log, apparently.
Yeah.
Did you notice the common denominator here is Gameslayer? Like, last time he played the Ixataxi combo with Yami and literally crashed the entire game. Now this time he plays Clear Mind and deletes the action log. Like, there seems to be a common denominator is all I'm saying.
There's I know Tape has mentioned there's some bug that will be updated in the next mod where if you do, I don't know exactly remember what it was, but like playing cards or something like clears the actions.
Oh well, such is the life, you know. As you know, as with all coding, we have a problem, we solve the problem, we have 3 problems.
Correct. But yeah, but as Gameslayer kind of pointed out there, it would have made more sense for him to skirmish initially instead of move.
Yes. It would, but such is life. Oh, no. Skirmish in the cover hex, sir. What are you doing? Oh, right, because he can only move 2 because he was there. Never mind. Yeah.
Okay. Yes, because he only moved 2 with the move instead of 3.
Yeah, that is kind of unfortunate there.
If he
but-
had skirmish initially, he could have gotten some damage on Frail or
Shillovy,
Shrita.
yep.
No, not Shillovy. Not Shillovy with the skirmish
Oh,
initially.
I see what you're saying. Yeah. Sorry. That
So if he
makes
had
sense.
skirmish
Well,
there,
was
and then he
still-
could have used the move here to get into the cover hex.
Indeed. So now, unfortunately, he is vulnerable. Freyhill and Astrida, though they are slowed, they can still go ahead, skirmish out, or move. I guess you would skirmish because that would be more action efficient. Skirmish out of the dome, and then attack him. He does only have 2 hit points. Red does not have any healing cards, and Sacrifice cannot be played by yourself. Not that Gameslayer would have such a healing card, anyways. So Gameslayer's Sakoshi very likely about to die. And to answer Eric's question, what killed Shillovy? Sakoshi's attack killed Shillovy.
Yes. It was an attack after a clear mind to remove the disarm.
Yes.
So the thing here also, though, to keep in mind for Smeoz is he probably is going to want to keep both his heroes in the dome at the end of the round, because he definitely doesn't want to be down 2-0 on Skytear Master.
Okay, well, Yami is going to make this difficult. Here comes another Skytear discharge.
He's doing it anyway.
Yami, yep, he has to, I think. I think Smeoz has to at this point. You can move back later. We do see a +1 on the flip, so Astrida does take 2 damage, brings her down to 12. She is still within range of Freyhill for 3, so she could worship at the end of her turn and heal up a little bit. We do see the attack. Oh yeah, we're on turn 3. Yeah, this works. Inkle absolutely works here. I thought we were in round 2 for a second. Oh, this is huge. Because this attack now fizzles because Astrida's going to get dragged right back into the dome.
Where is
Yami
the center?
The center is where Astrida is currently located, right next to in between the 2 cover hexes.
Okay.
Yeah. So, oof, that's huge. And Gameslayer flips a +1 because Astrida gets dragged back across the white line. Yeah, so discharge goes off again.
Yeah, he was thinking about moving Yami out, but then decided not to because of that.
Because of the discharge, correct, exactly. Although, interestingly enough, doesn't move Ishitosk up. Oh, I guess, yeah, never mind. Ishitosk did play the sinkhole, so it's not like you could stone barricade Freyhill anyways. That being said, however, you could move... so now Gameslayer just needs to Ixataxi, Yami, and Ishitosk and form a line, and Freyhill can't get to Sakoshi either. Because that pillar that's up by his minion, you can just end it so that Freyhill and Ishitosk, Ishitosk and Yami form a line with Astrida, and Smeoz can't get to Sakoshi.
This is the longest game I've streamed in a while. Both of my last 2 streams ended round 2.
I was going to say, yeah, both of your games got done faster than the semifinal game combined that I just did with Gameslayer and Zambo. So clearly we see what's going on here. And Smeoz is going to lead. So I think in this play here, Gameslayer actually in a very good spot, I think, because now I assume Ishitosk activates and does what I just said, because then that guarantees that Sakoshi lives. And Sakoshi did not lead, so that doesn't necessarily matter, but still does provide lane control there for Gameslayer.
Actually, if he goes, can Gameslayer just win here?
Can he just win? Well, if he kills the minions...
If he blocks Frail out of getting within range of the control token.
So if he blocks Freyhill using the source, the Ixataxi thing that I said, and you position Yami down there, skirmish and move there, skirmish move lead with Yami, yeah, you actually just win.
He doesn't need to use a worship. He just needs to put somebody in that hex between Astrida and the minion. Because Frail is slow.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Well, that's what I'm saying. Well, you need to use the Ixataxi, I think, in order to block Freyhill from being able to get in range, because otherwise you can... Oh, no! Well, wait a minute. If you move there and there... Yeah, no, you need to use both of them, I think, in order to barricade. No, this is the wrong play, I think. Okay, I don't agree with this. I think this is the wrong play. But whatever. Listen, Gameslayer is the runner-up. I'm not, so I'm not going to criticize this too much. This also works, I think, actually. I wonder if he has a quick shot. Does he have quick shots that might be useful there to kill that last minion? Or he could have a combustion, I guess, because we've seen combustions. Sakoshi does not have mana. Oh, Yami has mana, so yeah, so he could potentially just combust that last minion to pieces. But even without that, I think if you just send Ixotusk into the lane, I think Gameslayer can just run over him at this point.
Yeah, I think if he could have just blocked that Hex and then he would have had the game.
Yeah, I don't know why he didn't do that, because Freyhill would have been locked in the dome. I mean, I guess she could have a charm. If she had charm,
Yeah.
she would be able to remove the slow. That is a possibility.
He still could have gone with like the warship and then a move over the minion and then skirmish back to that Hex or something though. So he would still get a minion, still get a minion, still have Yami in range, and then if Freyhill does have the charm, then she has the charm.
Yeah, but I mean, in the end, yeah, I think that the blockade might have been a little bit stronger of a play, but whatever. I think this will still work out for Gameslayer. Right now,
maybe he has another sinkhole. No, Sakoshi doesn't have mana. Sakoshi doesn't have the mana.
He could have Neil before me, but Freyhill's likely not going to get in range.
Yeah, and if he had Neil before me, he could have just left Yami on the edge, or kind of where we said, or something like that, and then he could just throw her out.
Yeah, he doesn't have a Soul Scream. He would have played that there in order to delete the last minion.
Maybe he just didn't see that line.
Possibly. Or he may also have more information. So Smeoz is only down to 2. He also does only have 1 card left in hand for Gameslayer, so that may be an issue. So let's see what Freyhill does here. So Freyhill needs to play. So here's the thing. Freyhill can skirmish, attack Sakoshi, and lead. Yep, we're going to delete Sakoshi. +2, dead Sakoshi. And then I assume the last action has to be lead. Otherwise, you just lose. That being said, I think you still just lose anyways. Because with Ishitosk, if you... Actually, you can't get to that last minion.
Ishitosk can move adjacent to Yami.
Oh, wait, yeah.
And then worship.
Yeah, I forgot. Sakoshi's dead. Yeah, Sakoshi's dead. So never mind. Yeah, move, skirmish, and attack that minion.
Or move warship. Yami steps over the minion.
True, you could do that as well. Because you would still end within 3 of the control hex. But yeah, I think Gameslayer is just about to win through Nexus Destruction here.
3,
because
4,
I assume
5,
that Yami is
6, 7, 8, 9, 10 to 5. Yeah, that should be game here.
Because with this lead, even with this lead, this is a max of 5 or max of 4. And so with assuming again, of course, that it is a lead of 3. And so Ishitosk comes in, we detonate the last minion, and then Gameslayer just blows up the tower because Smeoz doesn't have enough and there's way too many minions on the field. Unless Freyhill has like a shield slam or something, which would be interesting to say the least. All right, so we do see the move action. So in this case, I think you actually do use the worship because that would prevent a sinkhole counterplay here.
Correct. I was just gonna say that.
So I do think that the worship action is the correct play here. So Gameslayer is going to drop down a pillar wherever.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of what Smeoz could have.
I don't think there is anything because you can't. If that worship action goes off, you can't stop the Yami stomp. Like a sinkhole, you can play sinkhole, but it doesn't matter because, as we've talked about in the game plenty of times, priority of the active player overrides whenever you have 2 must effects resolving against each other.
And Astrida has no mana, so there's no way for Astrida to time warp into the lane or blow up the pillar.
Correct. Exactly. So we do see the worship action going off. Gameslayer will remove 1 pillar, place another pillar down there. It doesn't really matter. Yami goes ahead and moves. Yeah, she is no longer disarmed, of course. Not that that matters, because this minion passive step ability does not get affected by that. But no, okay. Chasm.
Yeah, this would do it actually.
Interesting.
This I think does in fact save him because
Does it though?
he can't tax the Yami at all.
Ah, right. Yeah, because you have to grab the adjacent player or the adjacent hero. So
That's
actually,
a great
so
play.
Chasm
That
will-
is a great.
that was actually really good.
I was thinking about Chasm, but I didn't see that line of way to stop this play.
Yep, that actually will do it. So if Smeoz does push or does move, excuse me, it is a move, right? Not a push.
It is a push.
It is a push. That's actually not going to work because
It pushes right there.
Is that farther away from Freyhill though?
And farther away from the targeted hex.
Ah, good point. Oh yeah. It's target hex, not the caster. Okay, that makes sense. All
Yeah.
right,
and actually, now that I've seen that play, Sinkhole would have actually worked to stop it.
Oh yeah. For the same reason, yeah. You could tear the two apart and then not get taxied. So yeah.
Good play. That's a very good play by Smeoz. World class.
That worship action. That action will now actually end up fizzling. It's not that it fizzles per se, but it is actually kind of useless. So we are going to see. Oh, he ended up leading in the dome. Interesting. Okay.
What do you mean, Eric? Smeoz led from hand, but didn't have 2 cards before. What do you mean?
Oh my, the bluff. Okay.
What happened?
Interesting. Gameslayer's Yami lead from hand was Psychic Shield. This is like a reverse Clinton play here, essentially. So, interestingly enough, due to the overwhelming minion pressure, though, Gameslayer still wins the lane. So now it gets even worse. Does get to draw the card, and because of the leads from both players there, it is a draw in the dome.
They have to move the minions.
Yeah, the minions will need to...
Smeoz got it.
Yep.
Nope, not that one.
So
not that one.
That one was within 3.
Not that one. Ah.
Yeah.
Do you want to ping them since I'm gray? Just ping that hex with in the minion. Or that works too.
There we go.
There you go.
Yeah. Okay. All right, so then, as we mentioned, there is a tie in the dome there. Smeoz did lead from the deck, but it was actually the Dance of the Predator, Shillavy Ultimate. So that was interesting to see there.
Yeah, Ricardo. Yeah, exactly. He killed Sakoshi, so we got a card from that.
Yes. All right. Well, that's going to bring us into turn number 4. Of course, Akimo is still on deck as Sakoshi did die after activation there.
Well, Smeoz still is not in a great position here, but I believe we still haven't seen that song in the Siren yet, and he got doomed last round, so he couldn't use. Oh, it was okay.
It was used as a lead action, so the Song of Siren is in the discard pile.
Oof, if he had that now, that'd be good, but he probably needed it there to... Well, actually, he didn't need it there, but he thought he needed it there because of the bluff.
Indeed, yes. So, very good bluff by Gameslayer, actually. Like, as we mentioned, we always say, you're leading from hand, you have to assume it's a 3, except when it's actually a 0. So,
yeah, and that...
IQ play there from Gameslayer.
And that also, that bluff forced the Chasm out of Smeoz's hand.
Yes. Yep, indeed. Because otherwise, without that Chasm, that minion would have died. Gameslayer would have been able to lead with Ishitosk in the lane. That would have killed the tower.
Oh, yeah, that's true. So he still would have... Yeah, he still would have gotten it with... I'm assuming he had a 3.
Who, Gameslayer?
Yeah.
Oh, he did lead with the 3 with Ishitos. That's why we don't see the Silent Ambassador activating.
Right, yes. Yep. I was checking chat at that part and I missed that part.
Gotcha.
Yeah, exactly. Eric stepped away, I think he said, during the Sakoshi kill, so he missed that card draw. But yeah, all the cards do add up.
Yep. The math checks out, which we do know at Skytear Central, math is difficult.
That's an understatement.
All right. Well, meanwhile, we are getting underway here for the next round. Of course, both players do have only 2 heroes this round, so this is going to be a quickie. Shilovy died and Sakoshi died there, so both of their replacements are going to spawn in turn 5. Gulbjorn for Smeoz, Akimo for Gameslayer. So right now we do see. Actually, I would say this state kind of favors Gameslayer here.
Oh, definitely, especially with all those minions.
Yep.
Smeoz needs a Wind Blast.
Ooh, yes, he does. Not with Freyhill, though. Freyhill doesn't use Wind Blast, so Astrida is going to have to come in and save the day with the Wind Blast. Otherwise, Gameslayer may just be able to run over with all of this. Now, let's go ahead and I'll take a leisure peek at Gameslayer's graveyard since you're kind of busy. Let's see. We have Rampant Hatred 1, Shuriken Storm, Sinkholes.
It's not that I'm busy. I'm the gray player, so I can't do that. And I like being the gray player when I'm the head streamer, so that way I have the overlay and you don't.
That's fair. Soul Screams. Oh, Ryan.
Does he not have Wind Blast?
Oh, Ryan. Guess what is not in Gameslayer's graveyard?
Kneel before me?
Uh-huh.
Yep.
Which means...
how many cards left in his deck?
2.
Okay, so
there's a
3 in hand, 2 in
60% chance. 60% chance that we are about to see Yami do some dirty work here. So Yami could very easily move across the minion, attack the other minion, and then yeet Freyhill into dome number 3.
I was gonna say, I think he didn't have any of the. He was at 0 cards at the end of last round and drew 3 during that period phase. There. So I was gonna say if he had one in hand before, it probably wasn't kneel before me, so it'd be 50%. But he did not. They're all new cards, so it's fully 60%.
Yep. Ooh, baby. This is going to be good here. Does Gameslayer have the kneel before me? Because if he does, Freyhill can get launched into the dome, and Wind Blasting Astrida will maybe not even be enough. Gameslayer is going to lead from the deck. So, if he does not have kneel before me, there's a 50-50 that is either kneel before me or not. So we do see the skirmish action, so we are going to figure out... No! There's the kneel before me! Son of a gun! That is unfortunate. I would love to see the Yami kneel before me. We do see, however, that the minion is going to die there from the flip.
By the way, I do want to take this point to just bring up that positioning on Freyhill. It prevents Ishritas from getting next to Yami and doing the taxi stuff, which has been very strong this game. Gameslayer has really been showing off how strong the Ixitas plus Yami combo is.
Indeed. Although we are going for the attack against Freyhill and not the minion, interestingly enough. So I'm going to guess maybe there's a combustion play waiting to happen here, perhaps, to kill that last minion, because otherwise...
Or quick shot.
Or I don't think Gameslayer has quick shot in this deck.
Really? Wow, okay.
Yeah, I know. Surprising, considering that it's a +2 and he loves the explosion.
He loves +2s.
He does. He really does. But yeah, I'm thinking there's no... we went through the deck and there's no quick shots, so...
They're all in his hand.
I mean, that's not unreasonable to state, but unlikely, I think.
It's definitely possible, but probably very, very unlikely. Yes.
All right, so Astrida is coming out. I think Astrida has to contest the lane at this point because Gameslayer just has an absolute minion mob here. So I think Astrida needs to skirmish, worship, attack, and flip the minion control over. Otherwise, I think Gameslayer just blows him up.
Yeah, very, very true, Eric. This demonstration is great. And yeah, do you see those VCs? Outsiders everywhere. Yes, this is outsiders only.
That's correct. Outsiders everywhere and outsiders only, which, by the way, do look forward to our next episode, which we haven't actually scheduled at this point, but we are getting to that, we promise, as we do have a new card from the Breach, which is going to be our latest expansion coming here in the summer. So I'm very excited to talk about that card, but that's all the info you're going to get about that for right now.
Also, speaking of new cards from the Breach, if you were not around earlier, we had just before this stream we had the King of the Dome stream, and we did see a new victory condition spoiled and played with during that game.
Yes, shame we didn't get to see it actually, potentially be used, considering that Giacomo just kind of blew up the tower before I even got back from my lunch break. But yes, we also did get to see the new Bloodlust victory condition: defeat 2 heroes with the same friendly hero.
Come on, I was trying to get them to watch it, to see it, not spoil it to them.
You are absolutely shameless when it comes to clicks. You should be a marketer instead of an engineer.
You know, my girlfriend is studying marketing, so it works.
Oh, that explains a lot of things. Anyways.
What is that supposed to mean? Hold on. What does that mean?
We'll explain that later. I don't want to publicly shame you too much.
Oh, wow. You actually have some decency.
I do a small amount. Not much, admittedly, but a small amount, yes.
Yeah, actually, I think I do know what you mean by that. But anyway,
say that again. You went robo voice on me.
I think I do know what you mean there, actually.
Okay, good enough. If not, I'll tell you later. Check your DMs. Not now, though, obviously, but afterwards.
Oh, I was checking now.
So,
speaking of which, I do have a DM that I need to mention to you. But anyway.
Oh, okay, fun stuff. Well, we'll have tons
outside
of
only stuff.
DM exchange afterwards. Ah, okay, gotcha. All right. Anyways, so we did see that the Astrida did go for the skirmish action, the attack action. The worship action and the attack action, as we mentioned. Therefore, killed one of Gameslayer's minions and spawned a new minion. And so, therefore, does alleviate a little bit of the pressure. Of course, with Ixatosk on the field here, you could still move skirmish and attack one of the minions to help even the score here. Or you kind of just leave Ixatosk in the dome and get it to game point on the Skytear Master.
It's after 3 p.m. and I still haven't eaten yet.
Well, good. I'm not sure why that's good, but it is.
It's the sacrifices I'm making for the community, doing all these streams so I don't get to eat.
Yes. You're so wonderful. We know. Would you like a shiny medal or distinction name in the Discord?
I just got an error. YouTube is not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming.
It does that often. I realize that after this morning, I'm not exactly in the greatest position to tell you this, but I get that message all the time, and like today not counting, that happens, and it doesn't actually mean anything. So I usually just ignore it, but it is what it is.
Zaragul, if that's what I think he's talking about, it's not really something that would make sense. It's not really anything nearly as exciting.
No, it's not. It's very boring.
I'm paying attention to chat, okay?
Okay. Well, at least you're doing something productive. I'm paying attention to the board state since, we're actually broadcasting a game.
Zarko was saying I'm not paying attention to stream. I was just saying that I was.
Oh, that's fair.
I was responding to him. Lots of thinking going on here.
Yeah, it is turn 4. There is plenty of mana to be used. Each player does have 3 cards in hand, so plenty of shenanigans are able to be done here. Gameslayer looking through Smeoz's deck right now. Or excuse me, not his deck. Obviously, that would be cheating. His discard. So I'm going to go ahead and look through there as well. Just kind of seeing, is there a possibility of some sort of end of turn shenanigans? Gameslayer's decided, you know what, we're going to get going here. So we have a move action, probably looking to prevent the sinkhole play or another chasm, as both Freyhill and Astrida are capable of chasming. Freyhill obviously also able to sinkhole. We do see the move action. Looks like there may be a response from Smeoz.
Just chat. If there's any issues with the stream, let me know. Just want to make sure because I got the error message, and right around the same time, it looks like we lost about 4 viewers. So I just want to actually even more than that.
I'm pretty sure they were probably just tired of listening to us.
Okay, but just want to make sure if is the stream working okay for everyone?
Yeah, I have it up on a second monitor here, so it looks decent to me. But
okay,
all right, move is going to resolve there. It looks like so now. I guess the skirmish action comes down. Oh, or the Dreams of Talit play comes down. So Dreams of Talit. This depending on where this pillar goes, this will if you put it over there. Yep, that makes sense because now Ishitos cannot be chasmed nor sinkholed away from getting in range of the minions, except whenever you do something like this. Okay, so we do see the redirect action coming down, which means that Smeoz says, nope, you're going to put the pillar all the way back there. So now that does open Freyhill to a chasm or a sinkhole play.
Redirect, such a good card.
Redirect is a great card. One of the cards that has definitely seen a surge in usage ever since we started Season 2's rules, with targeting being a little bit more important.
Yes, the targeting on skirmishes in addition to the outsider changes.
Oh, interesting. He's going for the attack on Astrida.
Yeah, well, why not?
Okay, well, 1 damage to Astrida brings her down to 8.
What else is Exhaust going to do, right?
Oh, we're going to play Rampant Hatred! That's what we're going to do! Okay. I like it very much. There we go. So we're going to go ahead and skirmish against Astrida. Oh, and a +2 on the flip. That's 4 damage total. That will be 3 damage after the armor, brings her down to 5. Going for the extra skirmish then, obviously, afterwards as a result. And another +2. Very nice. So that's actually going to then let us Ishtosk finish in the dome. So Gameslayer is pretty confident that his control in the lane is sufficient that he can go and get point number 2 for Skytear Master. Oh no! Freyhill only led with a 1! Oh, that feels so bad. Gameslayer might get both lane and dome yet again. Let's see. We're going to do the math.
I mean, Freyhill, even with Freyhill with a 3, he wasn't winning both lane.
That is true. So we do see 2 damage to Smeoz's tower there. Gameslayer spawns yet more minions.
He really needs that Wind Blast.
Very much. And we now do get to see the Silent Ambassador occur again. Now, very important, Astrida down to 2 HP, which means she is going to die guaranteed to the Silent Ambassador. There's no way the Gameslayer doesn't use this as an attack. And so now this means that going into the next round, Gameslayer's going to have a 3-2 hero advantage.
Not only that, but I believe Golbjarn is the hero that would be coming on.
Correct.
And that would also mean that he will have no heroes with yellow mana, which means no Wind Blast.
Also correct. And, oh, there's the overkill. You hate to see it normally, but, you know, sometimes you just really hate Astrida and want to make sure that she goes into the ground. So that is going to mean resurrection on turn 6, not turn 5 there, sir. Oh, you're moving Freyhill's HP token. That's fair. So Astrida does resurrect now on turn 6. If we get there, I don't think that's likely, as Gameslayer is now...
Oh, my God.
Oh, no! We're just going to end the game. Tamer win. There it is! Oh, that's game right there. Tamer victory for Gameslayer with some absurd there. Woo! That escalated real fast.
Oh, the double charm in hand for Smeoz.
Oh, my. Okay, well, that escalated very quickly.
Wow.
Let's go ahead and...
Did not see that coming. That came out of nowhere.
No. All right, let's go talk with the players, because that was exciting.
Yeah. So, okay, so one of the things, round 2, why I was thinking so hard with the Sakoshi, my entire plan up until I put him there was to Skytear discharge and have him kill himself.
Mm-hmm.
So that way I would get in a chemo turn 3, and I would have 3 activations to your 2.
Yeah.
But then I'm like, wait, have I moved or not? Because if I can move, then I can just put him into this cover hex.
Right.
And then I'm like, wait, how much does this matter? I'm using it. Maybe I can just use Skytear Discharge with the sinkhole to hit someone for like 7.
That was pretty nice.
That was.
So there was a lot of options. That's why I was in the tank so much.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
I drew 2 presents that game, and you drew 0. That's like, wow. And I only run 2.
I probably should mulligan more for presents, for example.
You threw 3 cards away, so I thought you had a presence.
Yeah, I have mulligan 3 cards, and in hand I have Nourish. No, sorry, I sacrifice the ultimate of Astrida and another good 3 mana cards. I don't remember what is this, but I need the 3 mana cards for lead, so it's fine. Probably I am, if I play more aggressive with on turn through with Astrida and don't be scared from Release the Spirit or Doom, because you have to release of the Spirit on the discard pile. I can try to killing Sakoshi easy with Frail, but if you have Release the Spirit, you will counter my turn. So you have played very well with Doom, of course, because like I told before, you have...
So fun fact with that Doom and the whole presence thing, I completely forgot that I drew 2 cards before I started flipping with the Outsider. So I left both of them on top, and I would have thrown away the Doom, and the Doom was close.
This Hex, you could have prevented Frail from getting into range. I mean, I guess he did have that. I guess he had the Chasm, so maybe that you were just trying to play around Chasm or something.
Well, I hadn't seen the charms yet either.
Right. That was the other thing we were thinking about. Yeah.
Like, there was so much to play around, so that's why I led with the 0 with Yami, like an idiot.
That was beautiful.
That was a good bluff, though. That was awesome.
I wanted to hit that sudden distraction because I thought he might play sudden distraction.
Oh, that would have been hilarious.
No, I don't.
I've done 0 damage to the tower, and that might not be victory.
No problem. I don't play the strong card like sudden distraction, sinkhole.
Oh yeah, you want to give me a chance?
Yeah. You don't want to play those cards.
Yeah.
You'd rather play these charms, right?
Yeah,
like they just sit in your hand all game, don't do anything.
Hey, the first charm did a lot. The first charm did a lot.
That is true.
Only because there is Yami in the picture.
Mm-hmm.
Only for this, I prefer charm. Looks
like
easy.
yeah. So if I'd have, because if I had not done any of that play in round 3 there at the end, I could have easily just had Ixtos move over, kill a minion.
Yeah.
And been happy because I'd had to use 3 AP to do it, but I would have been happy because Yami would have led. But no, I didn't have the lead, so...
Yeah, when you play Sinkhole, you have countered my killing of Sakoshi, and I have lost another hero for taking the game. If you don't have Sinkhole, probably I can start to attack the outside.
I will say I did get lucky drawing that Sinkhole because I drew it off of the kill.
Because
wow,
attacking the outsider is the best card advantage, because I don't have card in hand. You have literally destroyed my plane of control, and you have
I didn't even need this Skytear drain for it.
Cards of me, so of course you have more resources than me.
So that's why the whole Sakoshi thing came about, because I went in and killed Shillavi and drew a Sinkhole, and I'm like, wait a second, Sakoshi doesn't need to die anymore.
Yeah.
Right.
And now everything changed.
Yeah, also that round 1, the fact like the tying in both lanes, no card draw, I think that probably hurt Smeoz more than you, because he needed those cards to go with his plan.
I was a card down, to be fair. I was a card down over him as a result of all that. But I had the presence.
You had the presence, and he probably relies on his cards more than you do.
Probably if I can don't play Time Warp with Shillavi, and you counter you win the dome on the turn 1, but I win the mid. Probably.
Yeah, that's what I was expecting to have happen, and then it was going to be really, really awkward for me. But I think that would have been good for me, because I think it would have been awkward, but I would have done a lot of damage to a Shillavi with the Outsider.
Gotcha.
As we saw there, the Outsider can sometimes kill people very fast.
That came out of nowhere. We did not expect the double kill Tamer there at once. We expected the 1 kill. We thought we were going to go to round 5 though.
Yeah, I expected to go to round 5 as well.
But now, you know what? Never mind. Let's just end the game here.
Yeah. I was like, you know what? With Ixtosk, I'm gonna assume that lead is a 3, and I'm gonna play it safe. Because again, I could have rampant hatreded around and killed the minion.
Right.
So, quick question, by the way. So, Gameslayer, would you describe your deck as an aggro red deck?
No.
No? Okay. Okay. Never mind then.
Why not? You have
I mean, three of his heroes are red. Like, that's.
I am abusing my reputation to make people think this is an aggro deck.
I love it. We literally talked about that actually at the beginning, where that you have never met an aggressive play you didn't like. So that makes perfect sense.
This deck, I wouldn't be surprised if Smeoz's modifiers was higher than mine.
No, it's
What's your modifier, Smeoz?
It's 1.15.
Oh, okay, nowhere near then. Okay, I'm 1.6.
See, you just have a skewed perception of what high modifier is. 1.6 is plenty high.
Perhaps, but like this. So okay, like if I go with if I went with the Setharu, yeah, the modifier can get a bit high. But with the Ixtosk, which is kind of being core for me, I don't have a really high modifier. 1.6, as I said, that doesn't seem high to me. Because it will lose to other aggro decks if I go aggro.
Sure.
This deck is what I would consider to be a quintessential mid-range deck.
Yeah, I would agree. But you say, but it is a red deck.
It has so many ways of killing minions, and then it uses its AP to just pressure in the control phase. Pressuring by either attacking people or just having a lot of heroes in bad spots for them.
Right, but my point is, this is a red deck, and weren't you recently talking about how red got a lot weaker and it doesn't feel very strong anymore?
So I have said yes, but I have always said that in relation to 2-lane.
Okay.
I think it's fine. I think red might be a bit weak, which is why, but bringing in Ixtosk fixes all of those problems for me personally.
Yeah, Ixtosk put on a show.
I don't mind running two red greens, two red greens, 2 red yellows, and 2 blue greens. I have no problem with the rainbow.
Yeah, all right, Clinton.
Yeah. No, there's only 2 mages on his team. This is not magey enough for Clinton.
Okay.
Yes, I have 2 mages. Oh yeah, I have 2 mages, but Nellicon comes in as my in a completely different context of Setharu. You'll never see Nellicon and Setharu together.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah. All right. Well, any questions from the chat?
Yeah, I mean, this deck runs 14 threes. It's not aggro. It doesn't feel aggro.
Well, you've always been kind of even as a flip deck player, you've always kind of played a little bit more threes than other flip decks.
That's fair. That's very fair. Which
personally I am a fan of. I think that is good. And yeah, Eric agreed with me. 1.6 is insanely high.
Yeah. That's Eric. His average is normally 9.
I think I actually built a deck at one point that if I brought a certain 4-hero combination, it was actually in the negatives on modifiers.
Beautiful. But yeah, Ixtosk just does so much for me. Maybe so. I named the deck after Sakoshi, but people weren't bringing melee heroes, so Sakoshi wasn't so good this time around.
Yeah,
maybe Akla would have been. Maybe Akla would have been better.
In Ashen Passive, is better, of course, because you can destroy the minion like.
Right, but no one's. The traditional play in Ashen Pass was to run a melee hero and then attack and then lead. But with the dome change, people aren't doing that anymore. Because domes matter so much with these victory conditions.
What can you do if you don't have Dream of Fallout in the start opening hand with 6 shadows?
Yeah, no, it's not easy. Ixtosk has to just move and lead in a lane, and it's a very upsetting one.
Okay. So okay. Fine.
Yami can still kill a minion and worship through, but it's way weaker, and that would be why you'd bring the Akla. Akla could fix that problem.
Yeah.
All right. Well, any final thoughts from?
Very, very scary Smeoz. Very scary Smeoz.
Yeah.
I would have swapped the Sakoshi Silent Ambassador and had Sakoshi be perfectly safe, but then I'm like, wait, I have seen this
Hunting
before.
for power. Yeah, that would have been. Yeah, that could have been very risky.
I don't have Release the Spirits. This could be really bad for me.
Yeah, and I don't have draws shelter.
No, your
or
draws were
some-
very
yeah.
bad at the end there.
Yeah, this is the point.
Yeah,
Did you,
I mean,
do you
even
run
if
Sinkhole?
Sorry?
Did you run Sinkhole?
No,
You don't have to
no,
tell us. But...
I don't think so.
Okay, because those were the scars I was scared of. I forgot Chasm existed. I was like, Sinkhole, I'm fine. Sudden Distraction, I'm fine. I can bluff.
do you have Wind Blast?
Yes.
He has Wind Blast.
Okay.
There was 2 in the discard. That's why I went for a Streeter rather than Frail in case he drew a third Wind Blast. Or Soul
Right.
Stream. I didn't see a second Soul
But
Stream.
when I need this, I have all the 3 mana yellow cards for the Wayfarer in the discard pile. So,
Yeah.
but I know that I have 2 Ice Wall in the 5 cards on the top. So I have tried to lead from the top, and yeah, I have moved the Frail here for Don to take the taxi with.
Yeah, very smart. Very smart.
Yeah, I made sure to mention that.
And I hope, but Gameslayer is a good player, of course. But if he start with Ishatosk before Yami, my plan was that go here with the yellow mana and redirect with the possible attack of Yami instead of the minion with on Freya instead. But yeah. My opening hand is in this turn is 2 charm and 1 redirect, so it's not.
To be fair, if I'd have attacked a minion with Yami instead of Frail, that probably would have helped me significantly in that game.
Yeah.
You didn't need to redirect the attack onto the Frail because I did it anyway. Because I was like, I've got some real good damage against a Frail here.
Yeah, and you didn't have a. You had led with a 0, so you knew you weren't going to take out the tower.
Yeah, and then.
Yeah, very good play.
Tame a random wins. Woo.
Yep.
Yeah, it was definitely exciting game, and there was some very, very great plays on both sides throughout the whole game. Like you guys both played. You guys both played spectacularly. Like the chat was commenting on it as well about how well you guys both played. So thanks for that.
I think I got quite lucky that this blue blob was running some very interesting cards, but not the traditional like Touch of Leviathan, Bewitch, Call the Pack stuff.
Right.
No,
Yeah.
I don't have.
Yeah.
Smeoz does not believe in those kinds of shenanigans.
He doesn't want to do traditional. He wants to be Smeoz.
That's fair.
Yeah.
But yeah, congratulations, Smeoz, on 2nd place, and congratulations on Gameslayer on getting 1st place and winning the qualifier, and qualifying for the qualifying on the for the invitational.
Now I don't have to play Skytear for 9 months.
Well, no, I think you still have. Oh yeah.
Draft.
So you can streaming the match finally.
Yes.
Yeah, I can probably start streaming instead of playing.
Oh my god, yes. Gameslayer commentary is arguably one of my favorite things.
Oh,
it's great.
Finally.
Just saying, guys, you can see that commentary by going to get youtube.com/no-brainer. That's end of no-brainer. No-brainer.
All right, that's about accurate.
I will be uploading these at some point soonish.
All right.
But there's
Well,
also a lot of space.
Congratulations, Gameslayer.
Thank you very much. And good luck in the next one.
Well done.
and thanks everyone for listening. Within the next few days, hopefully we'll have our next episode of Outsiders Only, which we will be bringing with a spoiler. And we also, at some point, not sure when yet, but sometime soon, we will be having the 3rd place game between Zambo and Doknika. So make sure to tune in for that one as well.
Smeoz still kills that Brilvar, no matter how big he is.
Yeah. Any final words from you? Either of you?
Nope. Thank you very much for coming. We'll see you guys next time.
All right.
See you. Bye.
Thank you everyone for listening and watching. Signing off.